Hestia is the Greek goddess of the hearth, or hearth. One of the original 12 Olympians, Kronos and Rhea's firstborn child, she was pure and peaceful. However, since she always stayed at home tending to the fireplace, Hestia was not involved with many myths. Consequently, at a later stage, she would be replaced in the pantheon by the much wilder Dionysus. Hestia's name means hearth or fireplace, and her status shows how important the hearth was in the social and religious life of ancient Greeks. Making and preserving fire was both essential and difficult for more primitive societies, which made the household fire a sacred element at this very early stage in history. In later days, Hestia became its embodiment. However, there was very few pictorial representations of Hestia. However, she is portrayed as a very modest, middle-aged, veil-wearing woman. Sometimes she stands by the large fire, carrying a staff or holding some flowers in her hand. The ancient Greeks didn't use too many epithets to describe her. Beloved, eternal, and she of the public hearth were probably the most common. Hestia was the firstborn child of the Titans Kronos and Rhea, since she was also the first one to be swallowed at birth by her father, and consequently the last one to be disgorged. Hestia is sometimes called the youngest of Kronos' children. She had 2 sisters, Demeter and Hera, and 3 brothers, Hades, Poseidon, and Zeus. Since fire is a pure and purifying element, Hestia was worshipped as a virgin goddess, and they say she became a virgin in order to keep the peace at Olympus. Namely, both Apollo and Poseidon wanted to marry her. Fearing that choosing either would result in turmoil, Hestia swore an eternal virginity by placing her hand on Zeus's head. As a reward for maintaining the order and place of marriage, Zeus granted her a central place in the house and the first and richest portions of the human's divine offerings. Only once has Hestia's chastity subsequently been put in danger. At a rustic feast, the drunken god of fertility, Priapus, tried to assault the sleeping goddess. Fortunately, a donkey started braying and awoke both Hestia and the guests, who chased Priapus away in contempt. Ever since, donkeys were rested and garlanded on Hestia's feast day. Gentle and peace-loving, Hestia didn't appear in too many myths, other than these 2. Plato says this is because she has to remain in the house of the gods, all alone, tending the eternal celestial fire, even when all the other Olympians ritually pass in processions through the heavens. This is both her privilege and her predicament. Consequently, Hestia's only manifestation among the humans was the crackling of the fire. Aristotle says this was the goddess laughing. Despite her crucial role in the lives of ancient Greece, Hestia is often overlooked or misunderstood. A common misconception is that she's a minor goddess, when in fact she is one of the original 12 Olympians. Her importance is frequently underestimated, as the hearth and home were central in the daily lives of the Greeks, serving as both a gathering place for families and a symbol of unity. Finally, Hestia is sometimes mistakenly considered as passive or a weak goddess due to her non-confrontational nature. However, her commitment to peace and harmony represents strength and resilience in the face of potential conflict and chaos. The hearth in the sanctuary of Hestia at Olympia played a crucial role in the Olympic Games. Athletes would light their torches from Hestia's sacred flame and carry them back to their home cities, spreading the spirit of unity and sportsmanship. As the goddess of the hearth, Hestia was often honored with the first and last offering at feasts and sacrifices. These offerings were typically included wine, oil, and portions of sacrificed animals.